You've got an ellipse. This should give you. There
Got
you
it.
go.
All right. So let me start over here. Welcome everybody to the Club Coach Support Group. The reason why we started this is because when I first started as a club coach, I really didn't know what I was doing and didn't really, I was pretty much a disservice to the clubs I was trying to coach. So after coaching a few clubs now and getting the hang of it a little bit better, I thought for the new club coaches, so if you're out there listening to the recording, I just want to let you know that we have your back and we're here to support you because this is one thing as a club coach that there isn't any prescribed how to do step-by-step program on what to do. And I think this is one of the hardest roles that we have in Toastmasters because there's a definite result you have to deliver at the end of this, or you do not get credit. A lot of other things in Toastmasters, you get credit even though you don't do them perfectly. You do your icebreaker and you only do it for 2 minutes. No one's going to say, meh, you failed. So this is the one thing that if your club does, if you don't do your 6 months and you don't get your club that you're assigned to distinguish, you will not get credit. And I have been a club coach a few times and spent a lot of time working with those clubs and it didn't work out and you don't get credit. But that's not why, I mean, that's one reason why you do it. But the real reason is to really help the struggling clubs get back into health, get back to health. So, Bart, what we did was we went down the list of the club coaches and just to introduce everybody. Everybody knows Bart, right? We don't,
Yep.
yep. All right. And Bart, maybe one person you don't know on this call. On the call, we have Brad, Craig, you know him, Amy Espinosa, Tracy James, Wendy Lord. I think she's just spying on us, wants to know what's going on. Rasika Gagawa is probably the one person you don't know. She's a Toastmaster with me and Lead to Succeed, a club for women, and she was the president, immediate past president of that club. And this year, she's an area director and she's assigned as club coach to Audie's Orators. And if you remember Audie's Orators, we used to have some good meetings and events there, and they're really struggling now. So Rusika really has her work cut out for her there. Any
Okay.
any questions or anything about why we're doing this?
I won't be able to see anything. All I can do is hear. So I don't know who's talking. I don't know who's in the meeting, but you kind of gave me an overview at least.
Okay, I'll do my best to try and describe what's on the screen. And Bart's been a coach before successfully, and for those of you who have been club coaches before, then it's to share your knowledge with the new folks again, because this isn't a prescribed thing that you go down in a step-by-step checklist. It really depends on the club that you're working with, what their situation is, and you really have to apply the skills and knowledge and analysis that to that club to figure out how to get them back to distinguished. All right. The first part of the meeting from an agenda perspective, I just want to review the what's and the hard, I don't, hard not in difficult, hard meaning tangible things that we need to do from a reporting perspective. And then the other part of the meeting, once we get that done, is to then talk about how you go about doing things in terms of how do you approach the club and what are some of the steps you can take when you go and visit the club. Does that sound good? All right.
Yep.
So the main page, and I'll drop this in the chat, or I'm putting in a link to the club coach website or page on the Toastmasters site. And we're all familiar with the club coach agreement because this is the form that you had to fill out and have everybody sign, the club president, you sign it, and we send it off, and Tracy James as our CGG submits it to Toastmasters, and that's how you get approved. One of the first things that you do, again, from a tangible perspective, is you fill out the preliminary report. And if you need to know how to get that, it's probably somewhere else, but this is where I get it. It's in the report. And then if you click it, it's not really clear, but they're bold and it's a hyperlink. So if you click on that, it will take you to the report. I don't know, Brad, do you find it, do you somewhere else?
I don't remember where I found it. I just kept looking for club coach reports, I think, and
Okay. So
backtracked into it.
that's where that report is. Oh, let's see, where did that come from? Oh, okay. And then the other reports, so the preliminary report you fill out right away. And then the other two reports are in here, club coach progress reports that you submit to Tracy every 60 days. And then the club coach final report. That's after your term of service is completed, they've reached distinguished, and then you submit this form to Tracy. And then what happens also is this little fine point is you need to have communication from the club president to TI directly in the form of an email or a letter, if you want to like put a stamp on it, whatever you need to do. That club TI needs to hear from the club coach that they were satisfied with your service and your work, and then you will be awarded your credit. One other thing is this has been I won't say anything else, I'll just explain it. So you need, the reason why we were pushing hard to get coaches assigned before the end of the year, before they've changed the club coach program. So 5 years ago, you were assigned a club coach. You just say, oh, I'm club coach, and Toastmasters says, great. And then if you're assigned to that club in April and they get distinguished in June, then you got credit as club coach. Now you have to serve your 6 months and then the club needs to be distinguished. So if you get assigned to a club on January 15th and that same year, calendar year, they become distinguished, you will not get credit. You have to wait. You have to hang on with that club a whole nother year and they have to reach distinguished again, and then you get your credit. Does that make sense?
Yes.
No, but yes.
I know, right? Right. Anyway, so there was I'm all too familiar with this because there was a situation where we had someone, yeah, anyway, it didn't quite work that way and we really had to work with TI and we finally got it worked out. But that's how that credit for club coach works. So that's why we were really working hard for a couple of people, and I was all excited for Liz Barger and Jackie Liberto to get their official stamp on where they stood to get officially assigned by the end of the year. So that's a preliminary report you fill out. And one of the things about the preliminary report is it asks for down here the past 3 years of where they stood from distinguished status. And I know Rosika's already done this, so I'm not going to demo it, but because all of you are veterans, if you go to the dashboard, you could just change the year and go back years and look at what the DCP status was for past years, and that's where you pull it from. So you can do this preliminary report. Or maybe, I'm going to demo it just in case somebody looks at this recording. Are you okay with that?
Yep.
All right. So here's the dashboard. And up on top, this is current, right? This is 2025, 2026. Here's our current date. That's today. As of today, this is where the dashboard is.
Are you sharing your screen still? Because I don't see the screen.
No? Yes.
I do.
Okay, never mind.
I can also see.
I'll have a little bit more bourbon so I can see more things.
You need a refill. So here, you want to go back 2 years because you need 3 years. Let's say you want to go back to 2023, 2024. You just change the year here. And then as of June 30th. So that's the very last day of that year. And then you go to District 55, we're in Region 5. And then now, if your club is Kerrville Toastmasters, then you click on that And then you see what points they earned, what their metrics were for the DCP on that year. And that's how you would find the information to fill out on your preliminary report. So let me close that. So that's how you get there. So that's the first thing you would do is fill out this preliminary report, and then every 60 days you fill out the progress report, and then at the end you fill the final report. So those are the steps that you take, the tangible steps that you take. So now the harder part is, I'm going to, should I stop sharing? Stop sharing. I don't think we need to share anymore, so I can see y'all. So I'm thinking, boy, it sure would be nice to have a roadmap or some sort of checklist that a new coach could go through. I asked AI if they could put together like steps for, here's a club coach. I'm a club coach of this struggling club, and can you help me with that? I thought, so I'm going to drop in the chat. Let's check the file. 2 documents. One's called the Club Coach Roadmap, and AI, I didn't edit this. I glanced through it. I haven't perused it. And then the other one, oh, wait, is this the same one? Club Coach 90 day, there it is. So it produced 2 documents for me. Have you all, do you have that? Okay. So I'm not going to share since you have access to it. And even if I shared, Bart can't see it anyway. Oh, I'll put this out and I'll attach this in the email that I'll send to everybody. So even if they're looking at the recording, you should have these documents attached to the email that I'll send out. So AI wrote this. I was like shocked and impressed that it came up with this. So we'll just walk through this. And for those of you experienced club coaches, if you have anything to add, and even Rosika, because let me tell you, I'm in Audie's orders, and Rosika has just been doing a bang up job in terms of her follow through and organization and how she's been leading the officers of that club. That please input into this too, Rosika, or let me know if this would have helped you a couple months ago. So the first step is to assess. This is the first 30 days in terms of what you do. Review the DCP, review the club success plan, make sure that they actually did it.
Okay, so you're showing your screen?
No.
Okay.
Do you want me to? I can share my screen.
I think that would be good since you're recording it.
Good point. I just assumed people would pull it up, would open the document.
Well, if it's recorded, would they be able to?
Yes, because I'll attach the documents in the email that they'll get the link to the recording.
Okay. Well, this just helps me, old school girl.
Okay. Should we wait for you to print it out, Amy?
No, I'm gonna just look here, and then I will, when you email it. Oh, okay, Grace, you got me there.
Tracy knows. Tracy, Amy, and I just spent whole, was it Saturday, Sunday? One
all
of the
day.
days, going down to the valley to teach TLI. So this was just kind of an ongoing inside joke that we have. All right. So at the beginning, you're observing, you're attending some meetings, you're meeting with the president VPE, and then you're doing your analysis and gathering information without being too directive in terms of giving them suggestions. And that's exactly what Rosika did. She didn't say much. She just came and observed, and I'm taking lots of notes. And then she became more active as the weeks went on. Then second, align and build buy-in. Clarify your role. Just let them know. And this is the same thing. Sometimes as an AD, you have a tendency, some people have a tendency to want to go in there and roll up their sleeves and just fix it. but really you're a guide, you're not the fixer. You're really empowering the officers, ask them what they want to improve. And so this is a tough one sometimes, because sometimes if the club doesn't want, they go, we don't believe in the DCP. It's like, then you just can't win, right? If they don't believe that they need to work, because I know a few clubs like this, no, we don't want, then we shouldn't have signed the coach there. Because you really, to be successful, you really need a core group of officers who are willing to work with you to want to get the club to be distinguished. And if they don't believe in the DCP program, then Tracy and I really messed up in assigning them a coach. So agree that that's their goal, and then just set up time to check in with them, make sure that you develop a rapport with the officers, and that you develop that relationship. And then focus on those goals. Make sure that they understand if it takes some educating, if they're really not sure, they might be new officers, they might mean well, but if they don't have that knowledge, then make sure that they get that knowledge and make sure that they go to the training and that they're following that. This is, once you put it on paper, when I thought about putting this together myself and starting from scratch, I was a little collywobbled. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? But then once this was like, it did it in 30 seconds. And I look at this, I go, wow, this stuff is just so obvious. And then,
Very helpful.
yeah, then the meeting quality. That's just moments of truth. Use that tool, apply that, the guest experience. And then if there's any kind of automation, if they're really struggling club, they've got bigger issues. They have bigger issues than worrying about trying to get Easy Speak up, right? They have other things to fix first, but whatever their agenda tool is, make sure they're using it consistently, making sure that their agendas are planned, you're attending the meetings. And then as you go along throughout the months, you track and adjust, see what else can be. And my experience with a club, I wasn't a coach, but I was determined. They were 3 members. We started off, this is Beyond Basics, and they were going to die. I wasn't a club coach, but it was my goal to get them back to health. It's been 3 years, and I finally feel like I can now step away. They're healthy. There's standing room only. Officers are engaged. I'm not an officer this year, but I'm still there to attend meetings, and I finally feel like I can back away, and they're on their own. They're flying on their own. So sometimes it takes that. Sometimes 6 months is not enough. Sometimes it's going to take you that 1.5 years, 2 years to really get that club back to health, real health. So making sure they're meeting qualities, track and adjust, and then making sure that it's sustainable. So right now with Audie's, I tell you, she's a relatively new Toastmaster in the leadership realm, but I've been learning from her. She's at the beginning now. At the beginning, she was just observing. Now she's rolling up her sleeves, getting in. She's actually, and sometimes when she has to take charge, and then as we become healthy again, you want to back away, make sure the leadership is working on their own so that they're not depending on you. So this first page is a 1-pager that it gave me. And then the rest of the pages, I'm not going to go through this, are just details to that front page. What do you think? Was this a pretty good checklist?
Yeah,
It looks
is.
great.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yes.
I can't wait to print it out.
You should
Hold it
copy
in
it
your
with,
hand.
you should copy it with your quill.
I shouldn't I? Could just type it, retype it. All right, people. But I am going to print it out, I'm telling you.
Yeah, so am I, I'll admit.
Good. Thanks, Brad.
You bet, I'm there for you.
Thank you, Santa.
Fellow Luddite.
And then Mr. AI asked me, would you like me to detail out a first 90-day plan? I was like, sure. So this is, again, just a little bit more, we won't go through it because it's a repeat of on that 1-pager, but it is a little bit more detail if you need it. And I love this at the end, strengthen and sustain the objective. make success repeatable without the coach. So you really want to make sure that that club continues
Yep.
to work without you.
You want to work yourself out of a job
Absolutely.
as fast as you can.
All right, now I'm going to stop sharing for this. So this is discussion. Rasika, as a new club coach, do you have any questions or any insights to share? Or I wish I had done this differently, or I wish the district had done, or I wish I had been trained on something?
I wanted to ask, like, other than what we did, new member recruitment, what else can we do uh, to increase the membership?
So just background on Audie's, there's a pretty captive audience and a good flow of people. So they have, of course, their employees. It's not a closed club, it is an open club. And you all know Rakita Hughes. She is retired, so she's not working there anymore. But a couple, Prasanna Paccarel and the president, Dana Ridley, they still work there. So we set up table late last year, and then we just did it again in January in the cafeteria at noon, where we get really a lot of traffic. And when we had Rakita at the table, because she still knows people, she's recently retired. So we got like a whole page of interested people signed up. And this last time too, we got a whole page of interested people. From the first round that we really didn't get we didn't have a good transition from those people into members, but we did get a member or two out of it. And so we did it again, but we just did it last week. So we'll see what results we get from that effort. So Rasika's saying, other than this membership table that we had, what do clubs do these days to drive membership?
Could I ask, what was the follow-up after you had all the people's information, like the phone numbers, emails? Was everybody followed up on with a conversation like by phone? Or was it just by email?
I don't think I wasn't at the first event. I was at the second event.
I think we are following up by the email itself.
Bart, I'm going to mute you. We hear a lot of background noise, so I don't think I can mute you. All right. Thank you.
I think what Bart was going to say, that following up by phone might be helpful, like actually calling people and talking to them and saying, hey, what is it? Why did you sign up? What were your ambitions? Like, let me tell you about how your first meeting is actually going to help you with that ambition, blah, blah, blah. Just because people don't respond to email the way that they used to, because we all have so many emails. I have been thinking about orders because, you have to think about something when you can't sleep. And I had my own conversation with ChatGPT and was telling him about orders and saying, hey, we've had these, I know they've had open houses and it hasn't worked the way we wanted it to. What other ideas do you have? And of course, he came up with a million. One of which I thought was really interesting, which was talking to staff about the patients. I don't know if that's what they called at the VA hospital, but we'll call them patients for now. And talking to them about how being able to communicate better will help them advocate for their needs in a medical setting. And thinking about the people that are there to visit as members as well. And then we carried on that conversation because it occurred to me, what other clubs do we have where that might be a way of getting people in? And we ended up, Tracy's already heard this, but I ended up having this thought about the way to look at recruitment for clubs across different areas, not by area, but by type. So like Guts and the VA hospital are similar in that they have similar kind of people that work there. We've got a bunch of military places where we, instead of selling the standard Toastmasters message, we could sell, do you want a promotion? This is how you're going to get one. Did you just get here from somewhere else? This is how you're going to make friends and influence people. You can learn to communicate, and you can also meet other people from the base. Is your wife at home bored because you keep moving and she's got no friends? Why not send her to Toastmasters? That's in my planning, but that's, membership is two things, right? It's finding people and connecting them with what they can learn, and secondly, keeping the people you have or getting the people you had back. So that's three groups of people you can think about.
Well, Wendy, one of them won't work. We can't go into the patients' rooms, and because there's particular rules of going into the
Yeah.
patients' rooms, and we'll
Right,
cross
but
the
if
lines there.
but if you talk to every receptionist in the building and they said, oh, there's this meeting thing you might want to try out, or might at least read this leaflet.
So a couple of things we tried now is putting up a sign in the lobby right before the meetings and saying, meeting here, Toastmasters. And that's something that we've tried. One of the issues of Audis, because they used to be such a thriving club, is Doge and budget. So that really impacted them with the layoffs and whatever else was going on. The other thing, I don't know if you heard in the news, is they had a couple of suicides right on the front, right there in front of the building.
Ooh.
That was not great. And then in the past, they had very solid management support from the hospital itself. And now they used to get credit for training hours, and that person, that management support person, left. And so now the reorg happened, and it's just a meeting place now pretty much. So when Rasika and I were there, and we were waiting for people to come to us, because I think that's what happened when Rakita was there, is people go, hey, and they come to the table because they knew her, but they don't know me. And Mary, who was there too, used to work there, but she retired years and years ago. So we had to start approaching people and handing out flyers and trying to get them to come to the table. So it was a little bit of a different experience. So we would modify, well, I was modifying how I would approach people. I go, hey, have you heard about, we're promoting Toastmasters on our campus, and it would be really great for your career and promotions. And like you said, Wendy, so at least get them to take the flyer and get them to sign, so we get their phone number and email address. But yes, I think calling them individually would be definitely great. We're doing our PR person is sending out an email right now to everybody.
Do they have like a VA day, or do they have any? I know you were at the lunch, the cafeteria, but do they have any like designated days? So like I know at Fort Sam they have a senior citizen day or something, and I don't know if they have those types of things at VA where you could set up a table, kind of like what you did at the lunch at the cafeteria, but along with that type of stuff. So maybe that might be something to think of. And you say that the management support has changed. Could you talk to the new management, or just think because of Doge, everybody's, I feel it too at work. It's like no fun, everybody work. So I don't know if Tracy has the same thing, but they even stopped. We used to have events like Black History Month, and we used to do celebrations, and we used to be able to do that type of stuff. That got cut off last year, and they stopped it. They no longer have any type of those types of events. So kind of walking on maybe shaky ground right now because of what the environment is.
Yeah, that and even things like putting up flyers in the building, they're very restrictive about it. So we just can't plaster a flyer up on a bulletin board.
Yeah, true. And then sometimes in the bathrooms, those work, but I don't know if you can put them in there either.
Oh,
Yes, Brad, in the bathrooms,
on the,
on the back of the
Used to-
door.
On the back of the stall door. We used to do that all the time. Yep.
Just a thought.
While you're sitting there, you have something to read.
Yes. Anyway, Grace is laughing.
that's brilliant. That's brilliant. But I don't know. I don't want to get caught and get us in trouble.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. Oh my gosh, that's so great.
Try it at your house.
I need to leave Kurt a message. I just put it on the
There
inside.
you go. But and I was gonna say maybe find out or ask what used to work, but you just explained why the stuff that used to work doesn't work anymore. So now it's a new environment.
Yes, we did have an open house that was good. We've added Audie's to Meetup, our Meetup group, our district
Okay.
Meetup group, and we've gotten a few people from that actually just show up.
Already, that's good.
Yeah.
And do you meet physically in person, or is it all still strictly Zoom, or is it a hybrid?
It was all Zoom. That was when I was the area director last year, and or whenever I was recently, and I said, we need to meet in person. So we're meeting in person. Unfortunately, this room does not have Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay.
So we set up, this was Rasika's idea. We're using a hotspot. I have to set my phone up against the window of the conference room to get a signal, and we set up, at least we have hybrid going now for that was just the last few meetings we've been doing that.
So sometimes if we recruit existing Toastmasters to fill a room for a month or two, and then we recruit a lot of guests to come visit, they get, I don't want to say we're trying to trick them, but we're trying to give them the illusion that this meeting is, full and vibrant, lots of things going on, lots of personalities, lots of great things. And then people start joining, and then the existing Toastmasters can kind of drift back off to their own thing. We sort of did that with Beyond Basics. Well, I did. I participated in Beyond Basics for quite a while, and then they're going strong, so I don't participate anymore because I don't have to. Like Grace pointed out, they're doing really well. So sometimes we can recruit existing Toastmasters to help fill the seats so that they're getting the full program.
Yes, I really believe that. If you build the energy in the meeting, it's kind of cliche, but if you build it, they will come. And
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
started. That's what started happening at Beyond Basics.
Is there the possibility of, the VA, is that the Audie L. Murphy building? Where they meet?
Yes, it's next door called the Polytrauma Center. So it's not the main hospital, it's the one right next door to it.
Yeah. Is there something that maybe you could host an event in honor of stuff going on and just host an event? And I don't know. I'm grasping.
We did because we had I forgot our 25-year anniversary late last year, and
Yeah.
we had a big event and open house, and we had several people come to that. That was really great. But you're right. I should.
Like maybe, when we used to have contests there, and you'd go into the auditorium, and there's all honoring Audie L. Murphy, and so maybe do an honoring day for him. Maybe the day when he was born or something. Maybe do something like that, and then they see that you're trying to help and help and help and help. So that's just a thought. I don't know.
Yeah. Just as an aside, that auditorium doesn't exist anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
They had a water leak, and it destroyed that whole. Our equipment was stored there, so we've lost the banner, our lectern. Yeah.
Wow. I had no idea.
Yeah. That's
Do you
why
need a lectern?
Yeah.
You-
Well,
You need
they have a
you need a-
stand-up not Toastmaster lectern that we've been using, but we've lost our banner. And Amy, I just don't like these new banners that we're getting.
I know.
How are we going to use those in the parade of banners?
I'm done.
I have a lectern for you.
Really?
Sure.
That's great because Beyond Basics doesn't have their lectern either. It just so happens that so we take River Talkers stuff to Beyond Basics. So that's one of my to-dos is to break out their stuff into a new box so that when I try and exit late, when I try to exit later this year, I can do that smoothly. But yes, Beyond Basics needs a lectern. How do you have extra lectern?
Ah.
CGD's prerogative, right, Tracy?
Right.
These things do just sort of show up sometimes, don't they?
They do.
I had a couple at one point in time.
Wendy, you gave me an excellent idea that I'm going to tap here very soon because in the hospitals we have rules and I am a former hospital employee, so I know what I can and cannot do. But you just hit it on the head. I'm going to hit the wounded warriors. That's who I
Oh,
have not touched. I'm going to get
Yep.
them because if I can get them in their environment, because most of them are well, the building itself is designed for them, so meaning that it's accessible. Whereas if we ask them to come to another location, it's more likely not accessible, or it's got some crazy stairwell or an elevator
I
that
don't need
doesn't
more ice.
work, all kinds of stuff. But if I get them in their environment, wow. Thanks, Wendy. I'll report back.
Thank you. It wasn't my idea, so all credit ChatGPT. Who's now running the world, clearly.
All right. Anything else? I wish more people had joined all these other folks. I don't know if they forgot or
so how do
Yeah,
you how do you find out what clubs need a club coach? What's the criteria?
Tracy and I made well, the criteria is you can't have more than 12 members. So if you have 13 members, you don't qualify for a club coach. If you have 12 members or fewer, and again, an important one, they don't say this according to the rules. That's the only rule, that 12 or less and they get a coach. But if they don't want a coach, there are some clubs don't want a coach.
Right.
Fine.
And do you guys have that annotated
No.
somewhere that they don't want to coach? You just remember? Why are you looking at me, Grace?
I'm not looking at you. It's eye
No.
contact in the camera.
But I haven't run across someone that says, no, we don't want a coach.
I have historically, but I don't remember in this district. There's a couple of clubs that don't have anything to do with the DCP. Toastmasters, Sociables Toastmasters doesn't want to have anything to do with the DCP or kind of the district even in a way. So there's no point in appointing a coach even if they slid down to 12 members.
Or Tracy, even Poised, right? They were very reluctant, and we had to meet with them and
Right.
Liz Barger and have a meeting with them and to make them feel okay. And they finally went, "Oh, is this?"
So, okay, so you talked about the club coach and what you have to do. So doesn't the club also have to fill out paperwork to be a club coach, to get a club coach?
They have to sign that agreement, and on that
Okay.
agreement, it says that I did the club coach module. There's a module in Basecamp that you have to
Yes.
complete.
And so, okay, so hypothetically, if I were to want to be a club coach, and hypothetically, I wait until like early next year, Toastmasters year wise, as long as I'm signed up by December, there's a possibility. But if I were to go out there and look at the dashboard and at the end of the Toastmasters year or beginning of next year, I look and I see a club that's close to where I'm at, I could hypothetically maybe reach out to them and say, hey,
No,
what?
no. You go to the CGD and you say, please, can I go on the list for club coach? Because club coaches keep coming out of the woodwork and people say, I want credit for sponsor. And we don't know who they are or where it's come from. And there's other people in line who also want their DTM. So it goes through, you go to the club coach first. No, you go to the CGD first and say, hey, I want to be in the list. And by the way, I noticed that this club only had 12 members. I'd be interested in coaching them and see if like nobody else is in line for that club.
Okay, so hypothetically, if I were to go and look into the dashboard and I were to find a club that's close by me or where I can meet their when they meet and I could possibly help them, I would go to this club growth director or come to this club support group, this club coach
Yes.
support group. And by that time, I will have taken the club coach training because I do have it downloaded in my pathways. So, but I would just, my first step is the club growth director or
Yes.
Grace at this time. Yes?
Yes,
Thank
please.
you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You
Thank you for
just
that
made me-
guidance.
You just made me think of a question that I don't have an answer to. If you, let's say you found that club and it's March, so you get assigned as club coach in March, and they don't reach distinguished, or they do reach distinguished, whatever, but you haven't done your 6 months, so you have to wait until the next year.
Yes.
And then,
What if,
but let's
what if
say-
their base membership climbs up
Yeah, what if they
July
have now
1st?
14 members? Can you still continue as their
Yes.
club coach?
You
Yes?
can.
Okay.
Yes.
I think you can, even though they have more than 12 members, because you started when they only had
Oh,
12.
you started when they
Yes.
were at 12. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good question.
Yeah, I hadn't thought
Okay.
of that question yet. All right.
I mean, that's
So,
the goal, is to get them to 12 plus members and whatnot. So it would make sense that it would carry through. Though you could be appointed, I mean, you're appointed for a 2-year term or until they achieve distinguished under your guidance. So
Right.
But then
Okay.
if they reach, let's say you start in March, they reach distinguished and have more members that June, you don't get your credit because you haven't done your 6 months. But
right.
then they have to be distinguished again the following year, right?
Yes,
yep,
I think so.
they do.
yep.
It's true. This,
Yeah, that's the part I don't like about the new layout, but they'll work the kinks out, I'm pretty sure.
So
I'm not
how long is the club coach training in Pathways? I have it, I just haven't clicked on it yet.
15, 20 minutes.
Really? That's all?
Mhm.
All it is it goes through the agreement. Where did the agreement go? This club coach agreement, if you study this and really peruse this document and understand this document, that's what the module is it just
Okay.
goes through this.
I still have to do it though. So
Yeah.
would it be advisable to do the module so that I can just have it in my record, or should I wait until I'm close to becoming a club coach possibly and then do it then?
Just do it now. And then if you most likely will forget some things by the time you're ready to do it. And then, but it's all here in the agreement.
Well, I'm gonna print it out.
You're gonna print the module out, I bet.
Don't,
I
okay,
just
don't print
might,
the
Brad.
module out. You
I
just,
might, Brad.
no.
Put it in a folder, put it in a binder, put it on your bookcase.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the binders that have it's like plastic and you can put the paperwork in it and it's got
Oh, yeah.
a little tabby
sh-
and then you put it in the binder.
And the sheet protectors and
Yes.
the colored highlighters and the sticky. Oh,
Yes.
you're speaking my language.
I know, Brad. Office Depot, here we come.
Basika is like, what are you guys doing?
I'm looking right at the stuff I took with me down to the valley, right there.
Oh my God.
I am like Amy. I printed out the area, the contest.
Thank
sheet,
you.
just one
Yeah.
yet, highlighting, underlining everything.
Basika, don't encourage her.
It's the way I am. I've accepted it. But cool. So this is going to be on a monthly basis.
Yes. And I think Jackie and Melissa told me that they were coming, so I'm sad that they're not here. Sorry.
say-
Melissa.
Oh, sorry, I got distracted by the whole discussion of like who's got a laminator. But
A laminator. That's an extra step altogether.
I do.
exactly. I knew you did. Part of the reason that Grace came up with this idea was because the module is about the rules of the program, not how to be a coach. And so it's difficult if you don't know how to be a coach, if you've never done it. And so that's why the wiser heads are here to give us advice.
Okay,
And we
so
have an
can I go?
opportunity to share.
Yeah, so can I go back old school? Like 10 years ago, there used to be like we used to buy cases, the brown where they have the lid open and where you can carry it with you. And you used to take a gavel and a the timing cards and all that was inside that black box that you as a club coach would take to the clubs and you would set up as the club coach there. So that doesn't happen anymore, I'm assuming. You don't remember that, Grace?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Brad, do you remember that? Tracy, you don't? Oh, goodness.
I wasn't in the district at the time, 10 years ago.
Oh,
I was in Ohio still.
all right. But it was like a club coach kit. And that's why I think someone asked about a club coach kit a while ago. Well, maybe a few weeks ago.
Well, the first time I was a club coach, they sent me a club coach pin. I have a pin, but when I'm a club coach now, they sent me nothing.
No. I mean, we could think about creating one over the course of this year. What would you have liked to have had your
Mhm.
first couple of weeks or months as a coach? And then we can create a kit so that the next crew coming in would have it. So that could be great.
I'll see if they still
I
have
know
those.
the checklist is very helpful
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
give some guidelines. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure there's several
But it had,
Toastmaster magazine articles directed to coaches just to help give them some guidance and
oh, I like that.
to
But it
do's and not to
we,
do's.
we had small packets. We bought the words, the
Yeah,
word packets, and we put like maybe 20 in there for that so that they could help the club. And that
yeah,
might
and
have been
table
a,
topics
you
questions.
know what, that might have been that might have been a new club.
Might have been.
Yeah, the chat packs, yeah. That might have been for a new club, but I thought for sure it was for a club coach.
Well, giving club coaches that kit is not a bad idea, especially if the club is struggling a lot. They've lost all their experienced members. They've got four
Yeah.
people who have joined in the last 6 months and they don't know what they're doing. All that stuff would be really helpful.
Yeah, but what you got electronically is perfect too. I mean, this club coach roadmap and the club coach first 90 days,
Yeah.
that's cool.
But we could put together a club coach playbook that literally we can send to the club officers as well. So you have a club coach agreement with Bob and Shirley, and they're going to get an electronic copy of this playbook, and then so are the 7 officers of that club. So everybody can see everything. There's no
I
reason
like
not to do that.
I like that.
Okay.
Club coach playbook. Like, hey, come on, we're gonna coach the team.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah, and you could have pages of ideas for membership building.
Yeah.
Because the ideas we came up with Rosica were fairly specific, but
Mm-hmm.
you can have a bunch of general ones.
Yeah,
Right.
I
And then
like
club
it.
meeting theme and ideas and words and table topic questions in general. And yeah.
I like the club
And-
coach playbook because you're a coach. You got to play by play. I love
Yeah,
it.
can have really specific things for different officers too, because
Yes.
let's be honest, if you're struggling club, you might not be going to training. So you might, as a coach, be sort of a fill-in trainer for the officers until they get remotivated and start going back to officers training or TLIs. So having
idea.
material in the playbook for here's some stuff for the vice president of education to think about. Stuff,
Yeah.
new club or new guest packets. A lot of clubs don't have the guest packets. They might not even know where to get them anymore. So we can give them 3 or 4 packets to get them back on that road. And I've even thought about putting together a new member packet, which would just get the new member. I mean, they get an email from TI, but they could use more information, I would think. I want to build some for our club.
I found envelopes of new member packet. I went, oh my gosh, where did I get these from? It's crap.
It is crap. The TI stuff's pretty crappy, but we can fill some with more things.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that on the recording. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You want my real opinion, I'll tell you, but you're right. It's recording. We probably shouldn't do that. But no, we could put all these tools together that the ideal club would have and make them available to the coaches.
Like guest packets cost $250 each. Is that something that the district could donate a few?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Is this
We've got money.
the electronic stuff, is this something that we could start on the webs, on the TDMD55.org and have a club coach
Page with all
support
this
group
stuff.
on that page up there, or
Yes.
no?
I think it's
Yeah.
specific, no?
Well, first of all, not many people outside of club coaches are going to find that page. They're not going to be looking for it. There's not that many club officers who aren't already involved at the district level who are going onto that page really regularly and poking around and finding things. But the group on this call probably do because we're engaged more. But once it's there, then we can point the clubs to say, hey,
Yes,
don't
exactly.
forget. Yeah,
Okay.
don't forget over here on the district site. There's lots of great stuff there for you to use.
Mm.
And just keep
Love
dripping on
it.
that.
We're coming to the end of our hour. If you can please take an action item to look at the roadmap and the Club Coach first 90 days, if it's too much or how it can be improved, if there's any corrections that need to be done, please let me know. And then Brad, I'll follow up with you because you had a lot of great ideas on how to put these packets together for a club coach to take to a club.
Sure, that'd be great. Go ahead and email out those documents, because I just have it on my iPad.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't
for
know, print
sure.
it from here.
Hey.
Luddite.
Hey, you know how to print. That means you're not a Luddite.
Yeah,
I can laminate.
I put a piece of paper up on my iPad and I trace all the words real slowly. So, yeah.
All right.
Hey, great meeting.
I appreciate you all. Thank you very much.
Good meeting.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Great
you,
seeing
Grace.
y'all.
Bye-bye.
soon.
Bye.
To
Oh, we lost
everyone.
Bart already, so bye, Bart.